What is going on, world? You are now tuned into the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series, and I'm your host, Nappy 2000. And let me put the sponsors up on the screen so you can see them real quick. Let me give a shout out to Bust Down Worldwide, Happy Trees, Plain Jane, Vacay, Gas TV, Sweets, and everybody that supports me. I appreciate all of y'all, and you can find these episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But today I have a very special guest in the building. I have a man who was on the Tonite Show.
Hey.
I have a man who is creating big ways for himself independently.
Hey.
I have a man who is very cold with his speech.
Hey.
And actually, his name is Cold Speech.
I said, what's happening? Hold the applause. Yeah, for sure.
That's funny.
I said, actually, I was told to talk shit. What's happening? It's your friendly neighbor, Savage Ghetto Eskimo Cold Speech, fresh from the north side, Mount Echo, you dig, fresh from the igloo, with the chilliest of the chilliest, with the coldest of the cold, sitting over here on Bong Talk, on you dig, feel me?
Yes, sir. And thank you for coming on. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
So you gotta love the organic situation.
Yes.
You feel me? This is hella organic.
It is. Shouts out to Mark.
No, for sure. The breeze,
sure
gonna
Mark
flow.
Breezy.
The breeze gonna flow, and people don't even know. I just stopped mentioning him at a certain point. I'm just like, all right. The everyone know him, so it gets to a certain point where I'm just like, you know what, and then to just be like attached to like the greatness. It's like if you watch a Vince Staples interview or something like that, and then he got like his manager over there, and everyone's like, oh, that's Chris Blackwell. That's Chris Blackwell. Now us, it's like civilians. We don't know who the hell Chris Blackwell is.
Exactly.
None of that. And I might be saying his name wrong, but either way, we know like that's who the hell you're talking
about.
And when he say it, it's like, oh, like there's so much prestige around his name for people who really know. That's what it's like. I call it like, flowing with the breeze.
Yes, sir.
I never really know the real like plan for real. I mean, I know, but
yeah.
By the time he finally disclosed it, it's like we'd already 6 steps ahead and shit.
Oh yeah, I appreciate, bro. We've had multiple conversations on the phone already.
Feel me?
I appreciate, bro, the process. We got it done, and now you're here.
Hey,
now you are here. So, bro, talk about just being on the Tonite Show with DJ Fresh and being on a song. Honestly, it's one of my favorite songs on it with Stalley and Rexx Life Raj.
Hey.
I appreciate that song. You being in the middle, you know what I mean, taking it over like that. So, just talk about being like that.
The crazy part is I was a DJ Fresh fan because of old Team Backpack videos.
Oh, wow.
One of the best beats on that genre from a video. It had AKA Frank on it. I cannot find it for the life of me because they rebranded. Now it's like Team Homie or some shit like that.
Right.
I can't find it. But the beat was But ever since then, it was like I always listen for that DJ Fresh. Even when I tell people about it, like it's like DJ Fresh, I have to say his tag for them to know who I'm talking about. Oh, him?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I didn't listen to so many. I didn't heard that so many times. So it's like to really like get in the room and like meet him, and then he's like, oh, for sure. Like he a music nerd. Like I'm a music nerd,
bro.
Like he like old 80s and 70s TV shows.
I see how many pianos, bro, got.
Bro, and then watching his video, like he inspired me to like make like little mini movies on my Instagram. If you follow me at Cold Speech, I'm gonna show you how to spell it later. But if you follow me, it's nothing but like little mini movies with my family and songs beats I just found. I made a little song off the cusp. But DJ Fresh really, he'll do that, but it'll be a sample he just found, and he'll make something fire off like the Price is Right theme, or he'll just be in the room with all the pianos, bro. And he just don't, and then it's just
everything.
It's going off, and it's like maestro in the room.
Yes.
So it's like, damn, like that's really crazy because he's really like a real like he really gets down with them instruments.
Yeah.
Even like watching him at a show, like he really like takes the whole thing seriously. So just to be attached to anything that he had going on was great for me. And then just like for the track to have Stalley on it, which I was already a fan even before the MMG thing.
Stalley is cold.
Stalley is so, and he's so slept on. But
He's been dropping throughout this whole time.
That's the part that be killing me. It's like it's certain people who popped off in that mixtape game type era, that 2013 to 2017, where like they were consistent, it was there and everyone was talking about them. As we transition away from that, people forgot that these people are still making money. They're still making like albums. They're still making music.
Yes.
They're still pushing like the narrative forward. Like Big Crit, Stalley, like people like that, like Wale,
all those people,
they wouldn't know unless you really like tap in. You a real fan, But Stalley been so consistent. So for me to hop on a song with him and then him do what he do, I was like, damn, I'm really next to the dude. Then Rexx Life Raj, just magically just carried off the end of the song. You feel me? So I was like, oh, this is like Mama's Gumbo.
Bro,
I just gotta add rice to it.
That's a melting pot.
I just gotta add rice to it. You feel me? But everything was really already there.
Yeah,
but the rice just add like just a little bit like more substance, a little bit like flavor is gonna kick real too.
Right.
Jambalaya though, for sure. I'm not white rice. I'm not no plain. Like I'm bringing sauce when I'm I'm saying. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. No plain shit.
I said no. I said even okay. I watched like the Bong Talks, right? And I was like, people don't be up here with they sauce for real.
Yeah.
Because they come up here and it's like, oh, I'm finna smoke. You feel me? Whatever. I was like, no. I'm coming up here sauced, yo.
Got to. I'm
gonna come with the Gremlin Tiger with the tiger stripes on the champion slippers. If you can't holla at you feel me? with all the jewels bedazzled on for real. Just out of my respect for you and what you got going on, I was like, bro, I'm gonna treat this like it's Hollywood because this is precious.
We are in Hollywood.
Besides that, it's the point that it's like, yo, these are the moments that you feel me? You show them appreciation. That quote from that Notorious movie where it's like, oh, Tupac told me, you feel me, enjoy the climb. Because when you get to the top, that's where all the bullshit starts.
Yep.
So what? I'm finna have a blast, especially today.
Yeah.
A great episode already.
We're already going in. Thank you. And you say you don't even smoke. Nah. Yeah.
I don't smoke. But because in high school, we was smoking so tough. I really overdid it. Like I have no desire to get high anymore. Especially I'm the type where if I smoke, I get paranoid.
Because I feel you.
I got you. I found out that most people who were smoking, they were smoking to get to a level I was already on. Like they were smoking. They were smoking to get to fuck it. I was already at fuck it.
Yeah.
I wake up and fuck it. I eat breakfast and fuck it. So it's just very difficult for me to like after like that, it smoking weed is kind of like overkill. It's like too much soda in the cup. Like it's for sure gonna overflow.
Too much carbonation.
Yeah, it's too much going on. So for me, like most people gotta smoke to hit me on the planet I just live on.
Right. No, I agree. I smoke bongs because I don't have to really smoke as much to get to where I need to get to. But when people smoke the weed I'm smoking on, it's kind of like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
It's different. People don't understand the levels in which you do partake in the smoke makes the difference.
Yep.
When my wife transitioned, she was just so used to the way everyone else smoked, which is, let's go get a blunt. Or let's go get some kind of tobacco wrap. I was like, what? Ain't no cancer with the high. That ain't how we doing it. If we gonna do it, especially you, my wife, I'm gonna invest in you. What we doing is, I bought her a bong. It was a Rick and Morty bong, right?
Oh yeah,
it was glass.
That's a classic.
But she knocked the goddamn head off. So she took it back to the store. When she took it back to the store, it's like, we give you store credit. Then she bought this big bong, looked just like that, except for it's pink and looked like someone's guts on it, turned inside out.
Right.
And it was like, oh, that's crazy. And it got a big ass eye in the middle. She called it Look. But that's her favorite thing. And then between that and all the little pieces I done bought her,
right,
just in case she on the go or whatever, I really invested. But yes, it's for sure a natural, straight to the fire to the herb, to the lungs.
Straight to the point.
It's there. And you don't even really got to overdo it. Your weed lasts longer, so much longer when it's like it's in its natural, it's smoked in its natural state without no tampering, without no like tobacco trying to like cut between your high and mellow you out as well as like uplift you. It's too much.
Because when people say, "Yo, I need a blunt," I'm like, you're technically saying you need tobacco. You're craving the tobacco.
The tobacco already has you addicted.
Yep.
Even when you tell people about blunts, like me personally, even before I got the bong, I found hemp wraps. I had a Crip auntie who let me know about hemp wraps. And hemp wraps.
The OGs are advocate
hemp wraps,
these hemp wraps.
Hemp wraps were not only were they like, damn, you get more for your $1. You can buy a pack of hemp wraps and get 4 for $1.
Yo.
So you're already on there. I would literally, at this point, like this is where I'm trying to like, get my wife and like, oh, this is how we can do it. Let's romanticize it. Let's make a whole little thing about it. So some people come home with roses. Some people come home with sunflowers. I would stop at the shop before I got home. Let me buy a dub of some hybrid. Okay, cool. Then let me get this hemp wraps. Let me get these 2 flavors. By the time my wife finally come back to the house, they already rolled. They already there. Now let me take care of the kids and you go ahead and get your lights off. You feel me? And then save these for other times where it's like, yo. And the way, because she normally smokes out the bong, she don't even take the whole like blunt to the head. Growing up, where I grew up, that was just what people did. Like,
like the whole thing.
And
and
if you didn't put in, bro, they would just really just smoke their own blunt to themselves.
People think that's a new thing. I'm like, no.
Stingy smoking.
If you didn't put in on this shit, nigga, you're not touching it.
Ain't it crazy? Like that's a Friday joke. You got to know that's as old as time. Bro. Like if you didn't put in on a respect, you got to respect the blunt.
You do.
So if you ain't even, at least the most you could have done was bought the blunt.
Yes.
Yes. You for sure. Like there's no way you think you just finna hop over here. You ain't put in on none of the dro. You ain't put in on none of the packaging that we gonna get on this ride on. Like you ain't bought a roller coaster and you ain't bought a hydraulics. Nah.
Bro.
You can't stay.
You even put gas in the car.
You can't stay. You can sit your ass over there and look lonely. Like y'all not gonna include me? No, nigga.
It's okay. Should have bought your own shit.
I was saying,
should have been responsible.
Yo, you better manage that check,
bro. So how did you actually connect with DJ Fresh?
Okay, basically, I was flowing in the breeze, as we like to say.
Yeah.
Breeze became my manager, so everything at that point was Grand Scheme. That's the company, right?
Yeah.
So Grand Scheme for sure. So a Grand Scheme, he worked with Fresh in the Flesh and DJ Fresh and all that. He also worked with All for One with Sean Beats. So it was just a matter of like the network that's really the team. It's me, is Mark doing his Dame Dash thing.
Yeah.
And then we got the 2 killer producers. So I'm basically, you feel me? It's the best way I can explain it. It's like Snoop Dogg in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like in them early 90s, before 93, before Doggy Style came out, right?
Got you.
Where it's just like, oh, like I'm here, we building.
He was featured on songs at the time. Yeah, that was it.
But
yeah.
That's kind of like where I'm at. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of, we don't have A&Rs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is kind of just like, oh, Code Speech, the name that's gonna ring around until next thing you know, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, then I get to come back on this joint and be like, hey, bro, remember like 2 years ago when I was on this joint, we was talking about bongs and shit.
Going up.
And then we could just talk about like businesses and t-shirts and shit like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically how everything worked out. It was just a network situation. And then with Fresh heard me, people don't know this, but like if Fresh think you garbage, like Fresh not gonna fuck with you.
Right.
Like, Fresh gotta respect where you at. But Fresh such a purist, he also respect everything, and he also from the Bay, so he respect the hyphy shit as well as the actual bars.
Yeah.
I was just able to dilly dally with both, so it was like, oh, for sure. So it was like, yeah, it was no brainer after that. Like he fuck with me, I was fucking with him. That's Uncle Fresh for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I could tell that he will take his time and listen to like what you're bringing him musically.
Yeah.
And really be like, do I like this? And then even if I really may not like it, how can I make it better?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, Uncle Fresh is kind of dangerous as fuck, and people don't even know it. like most people in the music industry that like can really get it done, like can really do damage. Like Uncle Fresh is really like really surgical with it.
And
Like,
that's crazy to know that's his first
like
studio project.
but like
that's
but he
ridiculous.
has so many like
Other ones
so many
independently.
Tonight shows.
Yeah,
Like,
crazy.
you can literally like
So that's not his first one
you
at
can
all.
you can spend so much time just going through all of it and then getting yourself put on to artists specifically from the Bay, because he makes sure he show love to where he from. But then they also got the Trade of Truth. Then they also got the Currency one that everyone like fucking loves. They got the Freddie Gibbs one right before Freddie Gibbs start like making that type of music that like
I
got
love the
him
Jay Stalin
the
one
traction.
too.
The Jay Stalin and
Bro.
him together is like on some classic shit. When we had
Crazy.
we had a show in the Bay and Jay Stalin showed up, and to watch him and Fresh get down, it was like, damn, yo, like a fish in water swimming. It was just a natural situation. Jay Stalin came in that bitch with a fur coat, just blow, and then Fresh is doing his thing. I was like, man, that's really synchronization.
It. Yeah,
it's like watching Fusion and Dragon Ball Z like in front of me though.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn, okay, oh damn, they connected. Honestly, this is a little crazy phenomenon for real.
No, it is. It's crazy. Like when you see like the combination of the collaborations come together and see like the magic happen,
especially like at shows. Like the live energy you get in those kind of like atmospheres is different. Like even after getting off stage and like, oh bro, like I loved the song before. I loved you performing it. It was great. Blah blah blah. Like even the feedback you would get from that. Just like performing in general, it's like, whoa. Like I cannot wait to get my own variation of what a Tonight Show is now. Where like it's my own like legacy that sits on its own. It stands on its own. Whoever's been attached to it, it's helped out them and their notoriety and their name. And it's just sitting in like its own little legendary space of what I've done with my life. And it's I don't know. Like, I want to do so much. I want to like make cartoons. I really got this like fire idea to like, you can make like a movie, but like make it a music video in between like certain scenes and shit. Kind of like that Freaknik cartoon that came out with T-Pain.
Oh, wow.
Freaknik,
yeah.
something like that. But like it's like its own thing, or like with every like album, make it one of those. Like there's a movie that comes with the album, maybe in a different animation style every time. So one time that shit look like Looney Tunes. The next time it might look like One Piece. The next time it might look like Bubble Bo, and just be random as fuck.
People are asleep on that one.
I was saying for sure. Like, but it's like even me, I still haven't watched it as an adult yet. I just remember seeing on Tonami. I remember how fucking weird that show was. Like very, very, very fucking weird. But it's like, oh, it's those kind of like avenues you can really like create, and like
you can find something brand new. Yeah, for real.
Like even the idea of like this podcast, right? Bong Talk. Let's like we could really talk about it, but it's like, yo, the real essence of like getting high off just fire and water, straight elements, natural, off the rip, and then the podcast itself comes off in that natural kind of way. I'm on it, so I can honestly attest it's organic conversation. It's in its own place, so the leveling of that is its own situation. Now I say all that to say, just like how the Tonight Show, it really feels like it's its own variation of you driving from place to place in the middle of the night. I can put on the Tonight Show album if I had to drive from here back to Pomona.
Yep.
And I can really like be grooving the whole time.
No skips.
Like it's its own like little thing. It's like kind of like, I just can't wait to get to the point where like I have so much intricacies in my art that it hits those kind of levels where a person can get their mind elevated in and really think about it, the art that I put out, really process it, or like hear interviews, watch this podcast or anything else like that and be like, damn, Cold Speech was on the money. Like Cold Speech was really Arctic with his vernacular when he spoke on that shit. So, you know, just the magic of all that shit.
Well, I think you had that opportunity, especially on that song.
Oh no, for sure.
You had the longest verse.
Yeah.
On that entire song.
I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to kill whatever space was allotted to me. When they first showed me the song, it was like there wasn't anyone on it. They just let me know that possibilities could, you know, align for, you know, certain individuals to, like get that, like certain individuals might get here and like fully stretch their legs over here.
Right.
So unless you like nigga stand firm and get your shit off, nigga, you gonna look like they ain't had enough space to put you in the picture.
You did a good job, bro. Because
the couch.
I listened. I'm not even because you're here. That's actually the song I played the most.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I said, look, y'all.
I'm not
play
even
track
playing.
9.
I'm not even playing.
Play track 9. DJ Fresh. DJ
really
dot Fresh. DJ Fresh. The Tonite Show album. Every track on there is golden. But I don't want to sound too biased.
No, I play that.
But that track 9. That track,
awesome.
even the way it start, like Uncle did his thing. Track 9 is golden, but you ain't ready for that part 2 though.
Talk about that.
You ain't ready for that part 2 though.
Release this information.
That part 2 is even more crucial than the first one, and the first one is already like it's on the radar if you know what's happening.
Yeah.
If you don't though, and you just a regular civilian, you don't know superheroes exist. Okay, you don't know the Matrix code.
Nope.
You're not really aligned.
Nope.
You're not gonna understand it.
Speak on it.
It is what it is.
It is
you
what
feel
it
me?
is.
Go do your little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, pop on your Instagram and double tap a Sexy Red video every day. Do what you gotta do. But over here, where we getting our cruise on, where it's all about, you know, uplifting your mental space.
Yes, sir.
To the anthem.
Yes, sir.
That part 2. First of all, I got to join on part 2. Ain't no one heard yet, but y'all.
And is it just you on?
Yeah.
It's just you on it this time.
For sure.
Got you.
Basically, it was like, oh, okay, we gonna throw him on this one, see if he can keep up. And they put me with Stalley the Great. So it's like, oh, he can do something.
Yes,
People
sir.
actually like this song. For as many songs as on there, and as many people as on there. For that to be a standout piece of the project,
that's the one,
and it's DJ Fresh, so it's legacy attached to it, like I said. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, you over here doing your thing on this, okay, for sure. So now I build anticipation. So on this part 2, bow, get you all little joint. Let me rock that out. Let's show the songwriting ability. Let's show the hook writing ability. Let's show how you carry off. And then that's just me. There's also some Wiz Khalifa on that John. You feel me? Young Khalifa, man. Oh. He just dropped a project. You feel me?
There you have it.
You know, blah, 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 blah. Some J-Rock on there.
Oh.
You feel me?
Oh.
I'm not going to lie. Unk's legacy and Unk's work speaks for itself. So people really, like, love to be on board.
I've already heard Wiz on a fresh beat anyway.
There's certain people who own the project who might not, like, who put like a verse down to get on a project, who might not actually get on, because that's how many people
we're trying to
are like actually like trying to be attached to the greatness that is the Tonite Show.
Yeah.
Which, like, you know, you're not in the know. You might not know, but me, I'm in the know, so I know the names attached that like might not. I'm saying, yo, it speaks for itself. So I'm just happy to really be there. But that part 2, yo, dropping early next year. Yeah. For sure.
No, I'm excited to hear part 2, and I'm excited to just hear you majorly on a song with that type of production behind you.
Bro, have you heard my first album?
Yeah, I have.
I said that that's kind of like the zone I'm trying to take things to. It gotta be,
because there's intensity to it.
Yeah,
every song is very intentional. What you're doing,
it gotta be,
and it talks about a lot of your beginnings and where you're from as well.
And that's kind of just like, like I'm from the north side. I was in California.
Yeah.
So where I'm from, we don't really have too many cats like that spring out and can actually do this shit in a real way. Like we have like a couple people like that, like their Pasadena Association has an asterisk next to it. Not even that they're not from it, but it's like, oh, they might have went to school out here when they was like in middle school or something, like Urkel or Lisa from Saved by the Bell or some shit like that.
I
it's
like,
know
that.
Oh, that. But I'm saying
got you.
Stuff like that is like, oh,
they just are passing by.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Pasadena itself is already a place where like you hear about it, you might know about it, but you don't really know shit about it. You don't really like know about it too tough. Maybe PDL if you a gang affiliated or something like that, but you don't really know too much about it besides maybe the Rose Bowl and that big ass parade that happens in the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now Altadena is on top of that, and they even show less attention.
That's what I say. I get Altadena and Adelanto.
You feel
all the fucking time.
And we were just talking about how Adelanto has like more of a ring in people's heads than Altadena.
And that's wild.
And it's my job to change that though. I said Altadena literally means Upper Dena. Pasadena means crown of the valley. So that means like we are right above the crown of the valley. I call it Mount Olympus. Because on certain days you wake up in Altadena, you look down in that fog. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a big ass cloud around the city full of gods doing godly shit. Call it Mount Olympus, or call it the Echoes, North Side. Trying to rebrand it, get everything up the way we need to do it. I'll start that business, elevate the game. Well, elevate, the perception of my people in that environment.
No, you have to. You have to level up the people in your environment, the people in your circle, your family, and anything that you can. We can't always save the world, but we can sometimes save the people or influenced individuals within our peripheral or within our universe.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
So
focus on those people in your vortex and see how much you can influence them by just doing what you have to do.
Emphasis on vortex, because certain people get sucked in just based off the energy you have, and certain people, they need the energy, or certain people reflect off the energy, or certain people, excuse me,
you good?
Need that wake up call. Yeah.
Good.
I said I had to burp. I said certain people need that wake up call that you might present, or certain people don't. Certain people need you to be the person to let them realize that I don't need the constant bashing at me. I have to accept who I am if this is going to be the criticism I get for my actions and stuff.
Right.
Just like those kind of situations. Like I've been that for like a gang of people, like in all those different like angles where it's been like I've been the person be too truthful. I also been the person who didn't say enough. I also was the person who said the wrong thing at the wrong moment, or said the right thing at the right moment. Like it's been
every phase.
Just growing and learning how to do that the best way and communicate the best way to be an actual leader of my environment and be able to communicate what I need to communicate off with different people who understand and communicate in different ways, different love languages, different ideas of what one thing could be, different perceptions. You feel me? Just respect the differences, but also respect the methods you get to the growth that you say you want to get to, type shit.
Yeah, most definitely. You have to practice what you preach, and we're not all perfect. We most definitely have our moments of having our disruption. You know what I'm saying? Saying the wrong thing at the wrong moment, maybe saying the right thing in the right moment, having the good and the bad. But ultimately, just knowing that people are always watching.
Yeah, for sure.
And you should just focus on what you have to do.
But it's growth in the fuck ups. That's where it's you beating yourself up over it. It's just like, did you learn the lesson? I feel like me personally, I'm a Christian, but God for sure gonna manifest that maze for you to get you where He wants you to be, get you where you need to be. Now, whether you decide to take the short way and roll with Him, or He got you in for a long ass voyage. I'm talking about Goku on the Dragon Bridge, jogging the whole time. I'm talking about Yusuke running for 4 days. Ooh. Like, got you out here.
Yes.
Like, hey, bro, that's what it is. I think that's why Naruto, like
or watching anime. Or waiting for Pikachu to evolve.
Yo, hey, say that again. They don't know.
Hey,
they don't know what that, they don't know what it's like waiting, and then they show you that Raichu exists. They show you, hey, there's a bigger Pikachu, low key, that gave Pikachu work too. And then Pikachu had to come back and get that get back. But it's the principle. It's like, oh, we showing you what it is. Everything else they show, it's like, oh, Squirtle can turn into Blastoise.
Yep.
Charmander can turn to Charizard.
Yep.
Pidgeotto can turn into what I think it was. Either way, with the big ass bird. Either way, they can evolve. But waiting like specifically for Pikachu was like, yo. And then certain people, they Pikachus. Like they will never change. The love they have from whatever the hell's going on with Ash, hey.
It runs deep.
Never change. And it is what it is. And that's saying a lot.
Stay tuned, everybody. This is Bong Talk. I'm Nappy 2000. We'll be right back.
Crafted from the fires of dragons, chilled on the highest peaks of Everest, the Canagard is designed for perfection, using only the freshest herbs our planet has to offer, cultivated by years of experience. El Toro Verde, crisp, rich draw, slow resin burn. Be bold, be elegant, be the bull. El Toro Verde, you should be smoking.
What can we expect, bro, for the rest of this year going into 2024 with you fresh and just yourself?
What's it called? Well, Fresh finna drop that part 2, you feel me, with the ice and the chills and the coldest shit that you done got, you feel me? That's already 1 degree. Then you got me, right? I'm not gonna lie. I just dropped the beat tape called Speaks for Itself. And that shit is, groovy, funky, do what you do. I produce. So I got shit on the way with other artists. Also got shit on the way between, me linking up with producers and shit, getting more projects off, getting more of these art pieces off. I mean, if you heard the first album, I'm very intentional with mine.
Yep.
So you feel me? Like I want
with the features as well.
Yeah, I want everything to be like, I want.
That one with Reaper Mook is hard.
You feel me?
That shit is hard.
When
People sleep on Reaper Mook.
When I die, bury me in chains, wrap around my brain. You felt like I was like, yo, for sure. And then when he get up there with that deep ass voice, I was like, yo, that's a whole different look, bro. Play my shit. That's really the gist of everything. Play Cold Speech. And you walk away with anything from this, right? Even anytime you see Bong Talk, you see him, you see that bald head, and you just like, hey, you feel me? That's the podcast. That's what it is. I want you to think, you know what? That's a cold motherfucker right there. Speaking of Cold Speech. Let's go play that album. Go play Cold Game. That's the first album I got with me and Sean Beats. Go play that Tonite Show. Cold as shit. You feel me? That can never come out of this year. I'm saying that. Stand on that for sure. Then we got part 2 coming out next year. Oh my nigga, it's the crispiest shit in the world. Like bacon, you feel me? But grandmama bacon. Grandmama cook it different. But yeah,
it's a little different.
Grandma bacon crispy. I got projects coming out, especially I'm working on this. Damn, I can't even talk about it. Never mind. But basically, I'm trying to work with a lot of things in my city to start things moving that way.
Right.
Start giving them the same game that Mark Breezy is blessing me with.
Gotcha.
You feel me? If niggas choose to listen, you feel me? You'll eventually they'll run into you and be able to sit on this couch. This wonderful, glorious damn couch. If they don't, hey, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of my face. But yeah, I'm saying it's just a whole bunch of working with the city, getting shit popped off that way, and then just like trying to be so intentional with what I make, how I say things, how things gotta go. Like I need people to gravitate to like what my words, the way like Drake lyrics sit in niggas' heads, the way Jay-Z used to like really like sit in their heads, the way like they really used to like go like bar for bar on a like Wayne verse.
For real.
Like, go back to back on like, nah, Wayne said this, nigga, you hear this?
On those mixtapes.
Nah, but Wayne
real.
said this, you hear this? And it was just so much like, and like hip hop has gotten like to a certain point where like niggas is so friendly and niggas is so like they're not taking it seriously. They showing up for a check, and it is what it is. I want shit to be like WWE, or like you love this shit. Like
I watch wrestling.
You dedicate the athleticism to it. Like I watch wrestling. Wrestling is a fantastic way to learn business.
Oh, bro.
Because people don't know, before Stone Cold was Stone Cold, he was like 4 different other people and 2 different other brands.
So was
before he even
Mankind.
touched WWE. Mankind.
Mick Foley.
Before they get that one that works, they was over here grinding and had different characters and different names.
In different companies.
The Rock was Rocky Maivia beforehand. Stone Cold was the ringmaster. Before that, he was something else in WCW
and in ECW.
And they put Steve Austin with the GOATs. They put him in a stable with y'all probably don't know this, y'all don't watch wrestling, but the Enforcer Arn Anderson, who's already like this badass at
part of the four horsemen.
Part of the 4 horsemen. Matter of fact, if we gonna really talk about it, he's basically like the second, like, in command of the 4 horsemen. When it comes to the 4 horsemen,
he don't get enough credit.
Arn Anderson is like, that's the crunch time. If Ric Flair is over here in a match and he need that assistance, Arn Anderson,
that clothesline coming.
I trust to come with the spine buster, and that's before the spine buster was just some shit Triple H did. But when he, before he popped off, nah, that was his finisher. Big ass husky dude, really just like picking you up and slamming your ass into the dirt, bro. It's just different.
It's different.
But like even the presentation of it, like to know that like a fantastic wrestler in the wrestler world isn't just the strong guy that looks like he's strong. It's also the guy that knows how to make other people look strong. Like a Shawn Michaels. You're not going to know, or like a Bret Hart or something like that. Like
Undertaker does a great job at that.
Undertaker's fantastic.
Oh my
Even
goodness.
to find out that like, now he's retired, like he just giving interviews and letting all the information out. But he's like, back in the day, if I knew I was working with someone who couldn't actually work, I would sponge out my entrance theme. So like when I was a kid, Undertaker's like entrance theme was long as shit. He would like walk to the ring and there was all these mist around.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah, long as fuck, bro.
And then
5 minutes.
Yeah, all that, and then like whatever. But if he knew he was working with someone he could actually get a good match out of, he would expedite the process a little bit. But if he knew he was working with like Great Khali, someone like limited mobility,
right. We're about to draw this bitch out.
Someone I got to get up.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, okay, let me sponge off this entrance because I'm not gonna get too much, actual, motive in the match. Especially, I think Great Khali like barely spoke English, so like in the middle of like wrestling, if you know what it is, like they'll speak spots in the middle of the match.
Yeah.
If you don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, how can I tell you? Oh, I'm finna hit an old school.
They're not.
Like all you know is that I took your hand and went up here. You assuming like what it is, and then you too damn tall, and your knees don't even work well enough for you to sell it. Like this shit actually hurt.
He's tall as fuck.
So I'm saying, but yeah, basically we got a whole little thing about wrestling. But yeah, wrestling is the business.
No, it's the business, bro.
Wrestling is for sure the business. You gotta find what character works for you. Then you can be The Rock.
We're gonna most definitely talk about wrestling more after this interview.
For sure.
Now that I know this,
for sure. Hey, I'm on. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be talking to Ray about wrestling too.
You like wrestling?
She don't be talking about wrestling, but she's associated with someone that loves wrestling as well.
I said for sure.
So it's worldwide. People don't understand. It's fucking worldwide.
My grandma loved wrestling.
Yeah,
right before. Real. Right. I mean, I can't talk about how like tough she was in my life, but right before she died, right. She showed me music. Yeah. So right before that, it was like we watched the old Ed Sullivan tape. Motown, classics, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
so they got a Marvin Gaye over there singing. Then they got Temptation singing. Then they got Jackson singing and whatever. And everything's rolling the way it roll. Four Tops, all that shit. But what they're doing is they're giving like little summaries of the artists before they show the review footage of them performing. Then my grandma just happened to know so much about everyone. Oh yeah, that's the Temptations. Yeah, he killed himself. And that one over there, we don't know what happened to him, but she just had all the information in her head. And then that's the same day that was like the last day she was living. Right after that, like I took everything to the sink and she had a stroke and a heart attack at the same time. So she had to like leave this earth, God caught her home, whatever, happened.
Yeah, right.
Now, but like that just put the seed in where I was like, oh, wrestling will forever live in my heart. This music shit and the classics will forever live in my heart. I'm an old soul. I can tell you about groups that people who was outside at the time can't even tell you about, and the song and how it busts. And I don't know. I'm just one of them cats. I'm an old soul to the core.
Yes, sir.
And wrestling hit different back in like to see the growth of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like is there's so many things that can correlate with it. Like knowing that wrestling itself was in the shitter in the early 90s because of the gimmick jobs and the how the culture was changing into a more graphic, the hell with it type of environment. Yeah. So then we had to get into the Attitude Era, which initially started off
late 90s, early 2000s.
Initially had to start off because NWO was over there. WCW,
ECW was
ECW
throwing niggas through flaming tables.
ECW, like everyone getting a fresh ass whipping, and it's real. So it's like it's its own thing. So the product is getting edgier, and the same thing happens as you watch TV and you consume and watch the massive growth of reality TV, and people associating themselves with like trash TV and like Jerry Springer popping off, Maury popping off, all that stuff pops off. Everything kind of gets to its own place where we in a more experimental, more like, what? F it. Let's go ahead and do it. Even like the music at the time. If you go from the beginning of the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, New Jack Swing is there. It's some more clean, polished image. MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, bow. 1993 though, like 1993, that's that Doggy Style drops. That's that Snoop Dogg. After Snoop Dogg, basically we pushed everything into like gangster. Like, we need to get this
a lot
off.
of gangster. That's when everything is what it is now.
Yes, I said, but when
Little Kim's came out.
Even from gangster to like the end of the 90s, I'm not gonna lie, like sonically, that's my least favorite time sonically, but I love the fashion of it. But like that transition of like us trying to like that's when like hip hop finally like became like, this the dollar bills, yo. We chasing bottle deals. We chasing like, and the commercialism kind of like ruined people's ability to actually rap. And like people like they were chasing more of the dollar than they were like
the actual essence.
Yeah,
of
like
music.
like this actual like let's get it up. And then we go from that to the snap era. And then we go from the snap era to the swag era. And then right there, right at the end, that's when the organic comes in real quick. 2012, 2013, and 2014.
There was good music because that Piff had a lot it was because even SoundCloud had a lot of good music.
The 2010s gave us the blog era. So by 2013, everything was already in full form. We had Two Dope Boys. We had everything else like that. So
we had it all lined
was like,
up.
Like ASAP Mob comes out in 2012 because ASAP Rocky. But at the same time, like I think a year before that, or the same year, Tyler the Creator comes out off Future. So now it's camp based. It's just nothing but organic individuals with their homies actually deciding to do this art shit instead of some other dangerous shit, and then actually making it out.
Yeah.
So ASAP Mob gets their thing off, and then Chance the Rapper, people don't even know he's part of a collective called Save Money with Vic Mensa and his brother Taylor Bennett, and then Dolly Austin and Tokyo, and like Chicago is its own little thing.
The Mine.
There. That's it. But you feel me?
Yeah, we can get there.
Pivot Gang, all this stuff like that. Like, so people don't know. So when a Spillage Village pops out, they don't like they not familiar with it. To them, Spillage Village is like, that's fresh. It's like Dungeon Family all over again. They wasn't there in 2013, 2014.
It's been around for a decade.
One rapper coming out, and then you finding out that rapper has homies, and they all just been rapping together for like the past 4 years, and like okay, YG Tut getting like light on him.
I was just talking about that. No one knows about the house.
Bro, and they dropped
that project in 2022. Y'all should listen to it.
That project was golden.
It's a great fucking project.
That project was
I
golden.
just sent that because my homie, shouts out to Nug Life. I don't even know if I don't know. He posted it on the story, but I was like, yo, bro, like YG Tut is cold. I'm like, and I sent him the project to listen to, but yeah, bro. It's dope.
YG Tut is crispy.
He's crispy.
But people don't know about, like, back then, the association with someone you just found off some dope shit that you feel like no one listened to, don't even knows what's going on. It was so tough. Like finding out Joy Badass has Capital Steez,
it was the digital
and CJ
crate
Fly.
digging, I used to say. I was digital crate
digging.
For
that
sure.
Is exactly what it, because I for sure digging. Was spent hours.
I was finding this.
I was hours on Indie Life mixtapes, just going through whatever rapper, and if I found them on there, or if I like, people don't know SoundCloud. Before a SoundCloud rapper was Lil Pump, a SoundCloud rapper, like you could find the dopest shit that you've never heard before on SoundCloud. It was our equivalent in a digital space to what people talk about in the 90s, where like they first found hip hop, or they had these cypher clubs, or like
that's where I found
the rap shop
Perp.
in Detroit. See,
shouts out to my homie Mike Shab. Mike Shab is doing hella shit, and bro was just a kid from Canada. And now, bro is doing shit with the Alchemist. Going up.
It's its
own essence, for real.
It's really like it's a living, breathing like feeling of like euphoria, but also nostalgia, and it's also greatness. It's real ancestral for real. And it's its own manifestation of accumulation of a gang of stuff that was happening at one time to like a certain ethnic group who were already like, yo. Like,
and that's exactly.
Actually, no, let me just say a certain demographic, because as much as like we like to like place hip hop on black people, it was really New York at that time. And New York has its Latin environments mixed in with its African American environments. And as a culture in itself, it was like, it's basically, that's just like the gist of it all. Like it's a mixture of all of that together. But just to find out that like those people is stuck in that kind of environment where shit is burning, people who own buildings with people living in them are burning them down for insurance, and everything's out here. We're literally setting your whole environment on fire and not giving a fuck about anything that has to do with the repercussions of it, because we're getting this money off. And in between that, something so pure just flies off the wall. Something that's changed millions and millions and millions of lives. That's the culture within itself. And it's kind of like, even though they might say, like, might complain about like what's pushed on the mainstream, that's the dollar. Like that's not the essence of what it really is. The essence of it really is shit like this. Like hip hop is really just like, it's speech, it's communication. Like the idea of talking is so deep. It's so many levels to it. That's why I love that my name is Code Speech. So that way I can say things that hit your heart, and it's the coldest shit. Like Sub-Zero hit your ass in Mortal Kombat and then took your heart out a little bit. It's like that, where it's like, oh, like speech itself, it's its own like thing. Like even I feel like Ebonics is not talked about enough to take English and pimp it to a way where it's its own thing.
It's
now.
Our own flavor.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, no, it's our own thing for sure.
And
if you don't understand it, you do not understand it.
Something is white rice, or it's just rice. That's what you get. It's just white rice. But we for sure, we put some Old Bay in that John, little seasoning salt, a little garlic pepper in, stir it up a little bit, maybe chopped up some chicken. It's like it's its own little like pizzazz on it.
Right.
Just like, I don't know. It's so many things to compare it to. We literally be here all day talking about like how speech is just.
And speaking of pizzazz and speaking of speech, what can we expect from you for the rest of this year?
For the rest of this year?
Yeah, going into 2024.
I'm going to broadcast my family just as much as I've been doing. If you actually follow me, or if you tap in, you see I'm very family centric. Okay, I'm definitely got to make some kind of, promos and videos for everything. Honestly, I have a rule in my life, and it started when I was like 13, where it's like, I need more today in my catalog, whether it's a drawing, whether it's a part of a verse, whether it's a sketch, whether it's an idea, whether it's a logo, whether it's just something I'll give to someone else later, or, whatever. Either way, something got to shake every day. So for me, it's really just a reflection of that in all ways, shapes, or form. Like, so if I'll make a beat off a sample I might hear when we talking after this is done, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, for sure, bow. And I make that, send that off to, Mark Breezy, bow, do your thing with it. Or, manifest some ideas, get on your brainstorm.
Right,
You already know how
right,
he
right.
work. And then on top of that, okay, I got a notebook. I'm working on a different way to draw right now. Like drawing other characters in my style, which I didn't normally do. I like to draw my own. Because certain people can draw a certain way. Certain people can do portraits. Certain people can draw shit verbatim. I'm not verbatim. Like it's always going to be in my style. But recently I've been like, let me draw popular characters in my shit. So there's also that. It's just really, I started a LLC called The Good Garden, right? So that's me. You feel me? DJ Fresh is fresh in the flesh. It's all in the grand scheme. That's your boy Mark Breezy. Sean Beats, word up to my dog. That's all for one. Code Speech, we The Good Garden over here. Because if a good art piece is a flower, then a gallery must be a garden.
Amen.
But with all of that, it's like it's literally just like let's create, let's go, let's move. It's registered as a digital gallery. So everything that I can possibly do to create, whether that's put an ensemble together, whether that's put a photo shoot. There you go. Put a photo shoot together. Do all this other stuff that I can do. Just like create as much as possible. Make videos, little mini mobile movies on the phone. There's so many obstacles that you can really like conquer.
Right.
With just doing it. Like just pressing go, pressing the green button, zoom. And then as you go, people would like hop in the car.
Yeah.
Like I was going. And then I ran into a Mark Breezy. And Mark Breezy was like, I appreciate how you're going. I love it. Let's fine tune that shit. Let's get this car fixed up. Let's get you a brand new bike with a more centered wheel. Like let's fine tune this out so you can really zoom. And then after that, it was DJ Fresh. And then he saw it and it was like, oh, for sure. Let me tune up these production. Let me get shit straight off. Let me make sure that, you zoom in the way you need to do. Right. Launchpad. Let me A&R. Let me listen. Let me see what's going on. Sean, okay, let's get in that. Me and Sean, we kind of both feel like in that thing together because between Fresh and Mark, they both like the senseis getting it off. And we kind of just learning how to like, okay, let's get that wheel straight. Let's get that around. Let's finesse that technique. Bruce Lee type shit.
Yeah.
Real Tekken. Real like, oh, by the way, Tekken 8. Like, but yeah, like just real like fine tuning all the nooks and crannies towards at a point where like you'll see us on like later and it's like, oh yeah, like even if you weren't on then, like now I can really like I can be the one to hop on and be like, see, y'all don't know I've been doing this forever. I remember sitting on Bong Talk with what I thought was the fresh with the fresh drip, and now I'm wearing like shit that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
or I might down. I'm not gonna lie, I'm for sure the type to wear like some baggy ass oversized jeans and a t-shirt.
It changes. The phases changes. Seasons change. Sometimes you may dress up. Sometimes you may dress down. Depending on what it is. But like you said, I just appreciate you for coming on the show. And I appreciate you for speaking your mind. And I'm excited to see what you got going on with the Tonite Show Part 2. And if y'all haven't checked it out, listen to track number 9, Stalley, my man Code Speech, and Rexx Life Raj.
9.
But thank y'all for tuning in to Bong Talk. I'm your host, Nappy 2000.
Wait.
We got Code Speech. What's good?
We got to teach them how to spell my name. CXLD SPEECH. It's at Code Speech on all platforms. Find your boy. Holla at your boy. One love.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Bong Talk. You can either watch or stream this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And also, thank you to all the sponsors of the show.